Last weekend, I attended Cicadapalooza in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, where the first sightings of the 17-year cicadas were reported. These insects are incredible because they appear for about a month every 17 years. 17-year cicadas are born in the branches or twigs of trees that have been cut open by the mother. When they emerge from their eggs, they drop down into the dirt below, which means that about once in every 17 years, you have millions and millions of insects falling from trees. Thankfully, they aren't very big, or else that would be very scary, and thankfully they're not venomous or poisonous, because that would be especially bad, but it's still a kind of a scary thought that just bugs are raining from trees. Once they land on the ground, they start to burrow into the dirt and look for the roots of the trees that they fell from. They're able to do this because of their specialized front legs that are designed to dig. Then, for the next 17 years, they stay under the ground and extract nutrients from the tree. And one thing that I'd like to mention is that this does not hurt the tree at all, which is lovely. I'm a big fan of trees not getting hurt by parasites. So if they stay underground for 17 years, how are they able to know that exactly 17 years have passed? The answer isn't exactly known, but the leading theory is that the nymphs can detect changes in the sap nutrient composition, which allows them to be able to know when a season has passed. So for example, this is just a hypothetical, I have no data to back this up, but let's say during the summer, the leaves are out, the tree is photosynthesizing, and the plant gets a lot of sugar. Then as winter comes, the leaves fall, and the plant is no longer, well, the tree is no longer photosynthesizing. This means that the sugar concentration in the entire plant has dropped. The nymphs are then able to detect this change and count to themselves. Well, I'm anthropomorphizing here, but they're able to count to themselves, that's 1 year, 16 more to go. So after this happens 17 times, the nymphs burrow up from the ground and look for a place to molt. Most often they will molt on the tree in which they came from, because that is the closest thing that they're able to climb. The nymphs love vertical structures, so you'll see them on buildings, on cars, whatever. But like I said, most likely they'll be on the tree that they came from. And as you can see from this picture that I took, they really, really like trees. Then they undergo a molt and turn into cicadas. At first, the exoskeleton isn't hardened, so they are especially vulnerable. But after a period of about 2 to 4 days, their exoskeleton hardens and they are less vulnerable. Once this happens, the males will begin to sing their song. And this singing can get pretty loud. If you're right next to it, it can reach up to 100 decibels, which is as loud as a jackhammer, which is crazy. However, most of the time you'll hear the cicadas sing at about a 60 to 70 decibel range, which is about as loud as a vacuum cleaner, which is still incredibly loud. They're able to make such a loud noise using an organ on the side of their body called a timbal. What they do is they contract their muscle, which flexes the organ and causes it to rapidly change shape, much like if you have a piece of cardstock and you hold it on each of the ends and it's bent like this. You can make it like flip like that really quickly and it makes a boom sound. But you know what I mean, you've done it before as a kid, and it's the same concept with the timbal. Now, if they do this really quickly, it will turn from a single noise to a buzzing sound, which is what you hear. The females are also able to make noise, but it sounds more like a chirp than it does a buzzing. Then, once the male and the female find each other, they mate, and the female cuts a slit into a newly formed tree branch and deposits her eggs in there, which can be up to several hundred per branch. Unfortunately, this does hurt the tree. Most of the time, that branch will die, but what are you gonna do? Such is life. She's able to lay her eggs using an organ called an ovipositor, which looks like a needle. The fact that they emerge once every 17 years means that there are some particularly interesting things that happen in the ecosystem during this time. The first thing that I want to discuss is the evolutionary purpose behind their life cycle. These cicadas emerge every 17 years to throw off the potential patterns of predators. It's a lot more difficult to catch something when you don't know when it's coming. The more interesting interaction is between the cicadas and the predators when they emerge. The cicadas emerge in such large numbers that the predators eat them, become full, and cannot eat anymore. Their whole strategy is to make the predators full, which is crazy. The number of cicadas are just too overwhelming for such a short period of time that the predators can't eat all of them, so some must be left over. And it's especially interesting because you can tell that they evolved to be this way. They are incredibly slow, and I'm not being mean when I say this, but they do not understand their surroundings well at all. We meaning me and the team of entomologists that I'm on, we're messing around with the cicadas, and You could pick them up. You could just pick them up from the ground. They barely fly away. You just pick them up. Here's one I found. Pick them up again. Here's one I found. It was too easy. It was a buffet. Well, I mean, we don't eat cicadas, but if we did, it'd be a buffet. And then we get so full and then we couldn't eat anymore, and then what are you gonna do? But because they emerge in such large quantities, it doesn't really make a difference. The last interesting thing that is worth mentioning is the smell. At the end of it all, the ground will be littered with dead cicadas, and because the predators are too full, they can't clean it all up, which means that it will be left to the fungi and the bacteria to clean up that mess. And they produce odors that we humans do not like because these bacteria are harmful to us. So we evolved to not like the smell so that we don't eat the harmful bacteria. Anyways, my thoughts and prayers go out to Lake Geneva. They are probably not having a great time right now. The actual event itself that we went to was very cool. There were many people who came to this event and showed genuine interest in this phenomenon, which was great to see from a scientific perspective. Like, the general population was interested in something so scientific, which was really cool. A lot of times you don't have that. A lot of times it's, oh, what's this new video game? What's this new movie? It's a lot of film and pop culture, but not a whole lot of science in the general population, from my understanding. And what was crazy about this was that the cicadas that emerged were older than the kids attending this event. Just food for thought. We got to listen to some entomologists, which was really interesting. We had PJ, the bud guy. He's like the bud guy at UW-Madison. And you could just tell he was so passionate about these insects and he just loved talking about them. It was really cool to see, and it was super entertaining to listen to. They also serve cicada ice cream. Unfortunately, I could not try any because they ran out because there were so many people there. But man, do I wish I could have tried some. Everybody said it was really good. So, however, the one thing that went kind of poorly throughout the day was that it was raining all day, which meant that the cicadas were really quiet. Just tough luck, I guess. I don't know what to say. Other than that, it was a really cool event. The town was really beautiful and the people were very kind. Time for some frequently asked questions about cicadas. Where are 17-year cicadas found? They are only native to the eastern half of the US, so that's particularly interesting because you can't see them anywhere else in the world. How far into the soil are the nymphs found? They're usually found 8 to 12 inches into the soil, but they can go up to 2 feet within the soil. How do the nymphs know when to emerge? They usually emerge when the top 8 inches of the soil is around 64 degrees Fahrenheit. If you want any more information about the cicadas, I highly recommend checking out the website at UW-Madison. It was constructed by PJ, and it has a lot of good information on it. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed me rambling. Check out some of my other videos. I hope you enjoyed me rambling. Check out some of my other videos. I hope you guys have a great day.